Hey y'all, it's Ireland Man here, and today we are going to be doing a bit of a different video. So, if y'all don't know, I am a big MLB fan. I'm an Angels fan. Unfortunately, for this video, I don't think they're going to make it, but these are going to be my 2025 MLB Playoff Predictions, because we're just coming off that 2024 hype, and I want to predict 2025, at least what I think it'll be. Alright, so we'll start off with the AL. We're going to start off with seeding. 1 is Cleveland, 2 is, the Yankees, 3 is the Orioles, 4 is the Astros, 5 is the Tigers, and 6 is the Mariners. And then for the NL, we have the Dodgers at 1, the Padres at 2, the Mets at 3, the Philadelphia Phillies at 4, the Reds at 5, and the Cubs at 6. So, basically, let's get started. So, at first, we're going to have the AL wildcard here, which includes the 6 versus 3 in the AL, and the 5 versus 4 in the AL. So, the 6 and the 3 will fight it out, which would mean Seattle versus Baltimore. And honestly, I think with the Mariners, I really do think they could beat the Orioles here, at least with the road they're going down. But they need to work hard, and I don't want to underestimate Baltimore. So, I'm going to give this series to the Mariners in 3 games. And so as far as the AL wildcard when it comes to Detroit and Houston, I'm actually gonna pick Detroit over Houston here in 2 games. Just because I feel like the Astros could gain woes. I don't know why. Something's just telling me that. So we have the 5 seed, which would be the Tigers, going on to play the Guardians, and the 6 seed, which would be the Mariners, going on to play the Yankees. In the ALDS. So, basically, what I'm going to say is going to end up happening here is the Guardians will end up ultimately beating the Tigers 3-2, and it will be a very hard series, and the Mariners, very unexpectedly, literally, the most hope they've ever had in years is instilled into them. They managed to beat the Yankees in 5 games, 3-2, as they now go to play Cleveland. But let's actually get started with the NL before we start the ALCS. So, for our first NL wildcard matchup, we have the Cubs versus the Mets here. And so, I feel like the Cubs, you don't want to underestimate them, but I feel like the Mets would ultimately just kind of win this. I mean, I don't really see a scenario where the Cubs would win a wildcard against the Mets. I don't know why, but I just can't see it. So, we're going to have the Mets advancing here, to the ALDS. No, to the NLDS rather, against the Padres. And so for our NL for our second NL wildcard, we're gonna have the Phillies and the Reds facing up against one another. And I'm actually gonna give this to the Reds in 3 games because I feel like the Reds could have something to prove with this. But basically, I'm gonna explain what happens next. So, the Mets and the Padres are ultimately going to play in the NLDS, and the Mets, I feel like they're going to beat the Padres, dude, in 5 games, 3-2 Mets here, man. And, undeniably, Cincinnati has been on a great run so far, but, I don't know if they could stand Los Angeles. I really don't think they could. So I'm going to give it to the Dodgers in 5 games. 3-2 Dodgers. So the Dodgers are going to go on to play the Mets here. As, now we're actually just going to do the ALCS real quick. So in a shocking turn of events here, the Seattle Mariners managed to beat the Cleveland Guardians in 6 games, 4-2 in the ALCS. As the Mariners are, for the first time ever, AL champions. And we are actually going to see an Uno reverse card. The Mets, I feel like, would pull an Uno reverse card against the Dodgers and actually manage to win the NLCS this time 4-2. So, for the first time forever, for the first time in a while, the Mets go to the World Series, but the first time ever, the Mariners go to the World Series. And ultimately, I feel like the Mariners would have a lot to prove. They would have a lot to prove. But they came into this as a 6 seed. The Mets came into this as a 3 seed. The Mets have way more playoff experience as it is. But I don't think the Mariners would let up that easy. But ultimately, who's the better team in the end? I think it would be the Mets. So that's why I'm going to give this series to the Mets in 7. Sorry, Seattle, 2025 is not your year. But it's okay, because 2026 or 2027 might be. Alright, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe. See y'all later. Peace out.